Hey, this is Susan with Blended Insight, and I wanted to share my latest podcast on what to do when you receive bad readings. I'm not sure if I'm going to start posting my podcasts here on YouTube, but there's a couple that have content with questions that I'm frequently asked here on YouTube, so I wanted to share this episode. Please go and subscribe to my podcast so that you can receive all of the content that I'm sharing there. Thank you, and thanks for listening. Welcome to the Blended Insight podcast. Hello, bright souls, and thank you so much for joining me on today's podcast. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Susan, and I am an intuitive. I do oracle card readings, intuitive readings. I also do energy healing. I do a blend of Reiki, pranic healing, and other different modalities that I've learned. And I'm also an integrative/holistic wellness practitioner who just loves to learn, grow, develop, and evolve and share what I've learned to help others do the same. On today's podcast, I want to talk about intuitive readings. I want to talk about why you would go get a reading. And the reason I say intuitive readings is because the word psychic has a lot of negative connotation to it. I don't like to call myself a psychic, and it's just been given a bad rap. So I say intuitive reader, but you can say psychic. In the end, I'm just talking about going to someone who has a gift and asking them to either do a card reading on you or an intuitive reading, why you would do that, and what to do if they give you information that scares you, that is fatal, bad information, or that just doesn't resonate with you. Years ago, I had a friend/client that came to me because she went to a holistic health fair and she had a reading with an intuitive, and this person told her she had cancer. She was terrified. She wasn't even having any health problems. She just thought it would be fun to sit down with a psychic and have a reading. And this psychic was very serious with her about, you need to go get checked out. You have cancer. Well, she went to the doctor, did multiple scans, went to specialists. She didn't have cancer. What she had now was fear, anxiety, and all of the other things that go along with this misinformation that the psychic gave her. And so to me, this type of work is a great responsibility. Usually when people book a reading, they're in distress and they're very vulnerable. So we have to be very clear and careful and connected when we deliver information. So if this has ever happened to you where you went to a psychic and maybe they told you you were going to die in the future or someone else that you know is about to die, I'm going to tell you what to do if this happens to you, and we will do a clearing at the end to clear all that out of your field if you have had this very unfortunate experience. A reading is simply a snapshot in time. A really good intuitive is going to pick up on what is around you. So I have had times where I've tested this for myself. I have worked with some of the best intuitive readers, psychics, whatever you want to call it. Everyone acknowledges, or I won't say everyone, but most people acknowledge that they have a gift. I have had readings where I will intentionally think of something that I would like to attract into my life. And then I'll go get a reading, and that intuitive will tell me that's coming into my awareness. So the way that I look at it is it's a snapshot in time. So if I go to an intuitive and they're picking up on the very thing I've been focusing on, I know that what I'm doing is working. That is validation for me that, you know what? I am doing exactly what I would like to be doing. Let me keep at it. If there's certain fears that I've had floating around and an intuitive picks it up, then I know that I need to release that. So it's information, and what resonates with you, take it. What doesn't resonate, throw it away. I once was attending a church where the preacher would say, take the meat and throw away the bones. And that stuck with me because that's exactly what you're doing. You're taking the meat and throw away the bones. Your soul loves the truth and your soul knows the truth. So if they tell you something that's like, oh, that doesn't feel right, let it go. The worst thing you can do is hyperfixate on that, because now you're going to pull that very thing into your field, your energy field. And the law of attraction is a real thing. What we focus on does expand. So that's why you need to be really careful about who you go get a reading with and how much stock you put into what that reader says. Because again, you're vulnerable and you want to be sitting down with someone that's in true integrity, that's answering to a higher power, and that really wants to improve your life and help you and channel divine guidance, as opposed to throwing words around loosely that could potentially upset you and send you down the wrong path. So what if a intuitive reader tells you that someone you love is going to die? Think about it. Have you been afraid that that person is going to die? Because that reader will pick up on your projections. That person can also pick up on that person's projections. Maybe that person is depressed or they're feeling like they don't want to be here anymore. There's so many things flying around because our thoughts have enormous power. Our thoughts have vibrations. So what we are thinking, it really does make an energetic imprint, and someone that's intuitive can pick up on that and translate it and read it. So that's why energy healing is so important. That's why when people call me for readings, I almost always, if they're up to it, everyone isn't, ask if I can at least do an energy clearing at first before I give them information. Because if I can at least sweep away the energy that's most predominant in their field right then, we can get a clearer, more accurate depiction of what is outside their energy field. When someone is super congested and they have all this stuff going on energetically, when I'm given a reading, it's basically scattered a lot of the times because there's a million things going on in their energy field. So that's why I like to do combo sessions where I first clear a person and then I do a reading. But everyone is different. So that is just a little side note on why I like to do both. The reality of this situation is that only God knows when we are going to leave this planet. God, universe, the creator, wherever we came from, only that source knows when we are leaving. So if someone tells you something like that, there is no need to get hyperfixated on that because no person on this planet knows that for sure. Sure, there have been psychics over the years that have made predictions and they've been spot on, but I bet that same psychic has not been spot on in every single prediction they've ever made. The point is that energy healers and intuitive readers, we're picking up on energy and we're translating it the best that we can. No reading is 100% accurate. No intuitive healer is 100% accurate or an intuitive reader. So we are just interpreting. We're the channel. I open myself up as a channel so that I can just let it flow through me, and I still have to process it through my brain to try to give it to you. So my point is that there's a margin of error that's just there innately. So I want you to know that so that you can say the things that really resonate with you, they're like, yes, that is what you are meant to get from that reading. The things that give you fear, that is not spirit because spirit does not scare you. That is the ego. Intuitive information comes forward like, okay, maybe that wasn't what I really wanted to hear, but I have an acceptance in it because it rings true with my soul. Something that is really tough to receive that you're like, what? I would ask you to just sort of consider and question, is that maybe an energetic projection from myself or someone else that is in my energy field? What I suggest to do in those situations is clear your energy. After you get some type of reading like that, where the information is just hurtful, painful, it's frightful, scary, I would do a full energy healing. I would probably get an energy healing from someone, but also sage myself. Maybe I'll take a salt bath. I want to shake that off. Maybe go for a run or a walk, exercise, get that energy out, cut the cord to that person that gave me that information, and then deepen my spiritual practice and connection so that I can receive the truth and let that go. That is my best suggestion for dealing with people that give you poor readings or misinformation. That is not the purpose of a reading. So I hope that helps. With that said, let's do a clearing. In case this has happened to you, let's just go right into it. So you can just situate yourself, get yourself relaxed and ready. Focus on your breathing. And I'm going to do a clearing and a sweeping on you, the same as I do when people contact me for a reading. So you might hear me shuffling around here. You might hear me using a spray. All negative thought forms and cords from other projections and from people giving misinformation are now cut, severed, disconnected, and transmuted. You are connected to your source. Your soul loves and knows the truth. You are protected, you are guided, and you are loved. And I'm sending you golden energy to protect you, clear you, cleanse you. And so it is. All right, everyone, I hope that helps. If I get passionate about that subject, it's because I'm passionate about the subject. That is one of the things that upsets me the most when I hear others tell me how irresponsible some behave in the field. And so I hope that has not happened to you. If it has, you have my sincere condolences. And it's okay, we can undo it. Let's just cut the cord and move on. So if you have any podcast suggestions, you can send me an email at susan@blendedinsight.com. Visit me on my website, blendedinsight.com, YouTube /blendedinsight, and Facebook. Have a beautiful day.